welcome back to C.O.G Music. It's Steve, and I just wanted to do another little product review in regards to something I've been using the past few weeks with my practice and playing with guitar. Something I realized I've probably been doing incorrectly, not probably, but have been doing incorrectly the entire time I've been playing guitar. Over the course of many years with breaks in between different periods. It has to do with how I hold a guitar pick. And although I start off my playing holding it correctly, as I play, what I've noticed is I tend to rotate the pick as I play, to the point where I'm not playing with the actual narrowest part of the pick. I tend to, it rotates as I'm playing, and what I've noticed is after I've been practicing and playing a good half hour to an hour, I'm almost holding it and playing off of this corner as it rotates. And what I decided I would try, product you may have seen online, is a silicone pick cover that is molded on one side for your index finger and the other side for your thumb. Now this particular one I bought off of Temu. It was a set. It came with 3 different picks. It's a company called Solo. 3 different size picks, small, medium, and large. Let's keep it with the silicone molding made for each size. Comes in a nice little case. The small, medium, the large is what I started playing with. What I didn't like was the large pick in this particular set was still much smaller than what I normally use. I prefer, my pick of preference is a Jim Dunlop Tortex. I'm not really sure of the exact thickness. It's green. Let's see, my eyes aren't so good. 0.86 millimeter thickness, I think. This is what I tend to use. But the silicone cover that came to match this particular pick fit on here pretty nicely. So it definitely takes some getting used to. When I first put it on and I started using it, it just feels completely different. Obviously, the thickness gets added to where you're holding on quite a bit. But it does do what it's supposed to do. As I could feel, I guess my natural strumming tendency and picking tendency is to, I think it's the firmer I grip on the pick, the more it wants to rotate this way. But these moldings into the silicone only allows it to go as far as it'll go until my thumb and index finger are wedged up against the sides of those moldings, and it won't go any farther as far as rotating. And it took about a good week, at least, of really getting used to it. After a couple of days, I was like, I don't know if I should continue with this. It just felt weird. It's very different and very weird. But because of noticing where my fingers were and where they were staying, I knew it was doing what it was intended to do. So I just kept at it. After about a week, it got to the point where it didn't feel, as funky and unusual as it did when I first started using it. And I do believe overall it's made my picking cleaner and more accurate, and my strumming cleaner sounding, as far as avoiding using the long edge of the pick, which eventually I get to using when I'm rotating the pick as I'm playing. So if you can stick with it and get used to the way that it feels, I really highly recommend this. I think it really has helped me hold my pick correctly. And they come in, you can get them, I've seen them in various locations online being sold. You can buy them as just the pick coverings versus what I bought, which was the combination of the covering with the picks. But relatively, they're inexpensive. And I would say if you're having the same problem I was, and if you're noticing when you've been playing for a while and you stop, take a look at how the pick is being held in between your fingers at that point versus from where you started and were holding the pick. And if you're noticing that difference in that rotation of the pick as you're playing, this really comes in really handy. Little inexpensive gadget. I haven't looked into it. I would think you could mold a pick thicker at the top with these finger moldings in them. But as most guitar players know, you walk into a guitar shop anywhere and you tend to grab a couple of picks. Most of them are these flat styles, and what's worked for hundreds, thousands of years. But I would give this a try if I were you. Now, the one thing I have noticed, and it wasn't, I don't think, indicated in the description, is the molding is kind of done in such a way that it lends itself to being held properly with a right hand. So if you're a left-handed guitar player, you might want to look for something specifically for that. See, on the back side, this molding for the thumb, it's got this ridge over here, and it works its way down to a flatter area over here, which works if you're holding the pick in your right hand. Otherwise, it might feel very weird with the part of, if you were playing left-handed, with your thumb going over this thick area of molding. So keep that in mind. I did want to mention that. But overall, I would recommend these if you're having those issues that I was having with holding the pick and the pick rotating it as I was playing. Check it out. Give it a try. Stick with it, even if though it feels funky at first. And I would say odds are you will get used to it, and it will help you hold the pick correctly. That's about it. I will see you on the next video. Remember, guys, have fun while you're playing. That's what it's all about. Take care.